everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every single day. And that is to go in your settings. Why? Because we are building a tribe. We are building a community on these here internet streets. And let me tell you, this one that we have built together is the best. And if you are not a part of it and you just thinking about it, go in the comments, talk to somebody. I'm telling you, they are the best. And I'm not just bragging, I am being factual here. They are the best. They're knowledgeable, they're nice, they're sweet. They're just insightful. They're funny. They are everything. Let me tell you. And if you want to be a part of this community, like I was saying, go in the settings, look around, find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. It continues to be on my neck, but I continue to fight back. I do. Also, I just want to thank everybody who watches the commercials to help the channel. And let me tell you, it is a big help, and I appreciate y'all. That is why every podcast, I thank you, because I know it's not easy watching those commercials, but you do it to help the channel, and I appreciate you. Also, look over there in the corner. That's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is in the opposite corner, and all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some shout outs. We do. And first up would be the OG, the none other, the one and only Church Nelly. Church Nelly, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your continued support of this channel. You already know you everything, but I love telling you, you are everything, and I appreciate it so very much. Also coming in is Ella. Ella is coming through. Ella Gully. Ella has become a ride or die. Ella absolutely comes through with the support all the time. She is become this huge part of this community, and I am so blessed, so very blessed to have her here. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Ella, for the super thanks. As usual, because you always coming through. Also, I want to shout out ALC. ALC, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for coming through, and thank you for being in those comments all the time. I be seeing you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Also, I want to shout out Fresh Face. Fresh Face, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for the super thanks. But just thank you for all that you do in those comments. I be seeing you up in there too. Just dropping the knowledge. I appreciate your participation, and I really, really appreciate your support. Also, Angela May. Angela is a ride or die. She has become a ride or die. She is always coming through with the support. She is a huge part of this community, and I am so blessed to have her, and I'm over the moon to have her too. I am. So listen, y'all, I want to play something, and then we're gonna talk on the other end. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again to Church Nelly, ALC, Ella Gully, Angela May, and Fresh Face. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting the channel. I know you don't have to, but you do it anyway, and that is the reason why it means so much to me. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, that is where I have been today. Now, I hadn't had the opportunity to be on all the major platforms, I have to admit. I kind of peeked in on Blue Sky. I went on Instagram to see what Meghan was doing and see what the Instagram squaddies was talking about. And of course, it's the Cowboy Carter concert that Harry and Meghan attended. I'm telling you, that is not dying down. People are just absolutely still chattering away about it. I'm telling you, when Harry and Meghan are together, they break the internet to smithereens. To smithereens. They do. And that is what people are talking about. And y'all know after that, I made my way over to X, formerly known as Twitter. I lovingly called it the sewer, to see what the squatties over there are talking about. And of course, they're talking about a lot of things, not just the Cowboy Carter concert, but other things as well. And we're going to talk about a few of those things too. So let's get started. We have a lot, and I want to talk about this Cowboy Carter concert because I'm a little late to the party, y'all. Y'all know I got a lot going on, and it's going to settle down soon. I am just trying to pull everything together. So continue to be patient with me. Like I said, probably about the end of the month, I will be back on schedule, posting the read, posting a pop-up, posting a word on the curb. Yes, just back with the trains running on time. So just a little more time to just continue to pull everything together because I'm in and out. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find that. Y'all know how it goes. But anyway, thank you for your patience, and just thank you for being here, hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. First, I want to put this up. And this is what Meghan posted for Mother's Day. A picture of her with her kids. You know, Meghan is a little bitty tiny thing, but she is strong. She is strong in constitution, and she is strong physically. She is holding a 6-year-old and a soon to be 4-year-old, and she seems to be doing it with ease. She is a very strong woman, mentally and physically, I would say. And the squatty that posted this said this: "Oh, she won. Happy Mother's Day to Meghan." Yes, she did. She won. She made her way through the darkness to the light. And I just love it for her and Harry. Just seeing them happy is everything. And when you have gone through what they have gone through, and we as squatties have been here watching it, we know what a triumphant thing it is for her to be finally free, happy, and content in her life. I love it for them. I do. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. I am going to put up the picture that I know has caused so much screeching, wailing, gnashing of teeth, rolling around on the floor, absolutely snatching curtains out of windows. This picture right here has caused so much grief for the derangers, the trolls, the toadies, the ugly old wretched old hags, the flying monkeys, the minions. Yes, all of them, they have really been having a hard time because they know that everything that they have been saying has been a lie. I have said this time and time again. They lie, they lie, they lie. And then Harry and Meghan comes outside and just dispels every lie that they have told prior. Like they had started to ramp that old lie up about them living separate lives. They were, everything is not good in paradise, all that nonsense that they love to peddle on these internet streets and the airways. And Harry and Meghan steps out to Cowboy Quarter to the concert and just dispels all of that nonsense. And it's as if these people never get tired of the lies that they tell to themselves. Because at this point, nobody is believing them except themselves. They're lying to themselves. And the squatty that posted this beautiful picture of Harry and Meghan said this: OMG, my heart, backstage at the Cowboy Carter tour. They look so happy and chilled. Love my favorites. The honeymoon continues. Where is the lie? Harry and Meghan looks like they're on their honeymoon. They're happy. They're in love. They have the life that they have worked so hard to achieve. And I just love it for them. And I love the pain, the agony, and the gnashing of teeth and rolling around on those 400-year-old rugs, the snatching of the curtains out of the windows. I just love that Harry and Meghan's success, their love, their happiness causes this kind of response from the haters. Because for them, it's deserved. And for us, it's fun to watch. What can I say? I'm petty that way. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this one up. And one of the squatties, evidently, they ran into Gumby's page. Well, a lot of squatties call her Gumby, Gummy, Gumbalina. I call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth. And y'all know the reason I call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth is because Meghan paid for them teeth that she has in her mouth, because she walked around there with nothing but gums there for her whole life. She was walking around with more gums showing than teeth. And then, she started making money off the hate that she was spewing about Meghan. And so she was able to, I guess, get something done. So now we can actually see some teeth and not so much gums. But it doesn't stop the squatties from going back and just continuing to call her Gummy. Like I said, they call her Gumby, Gumbalina. I like to call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth, because it reminds everybody that she would not have any teeth showing at this point if it wasn't for Meghan. It's a business. It's a business for her. She's a grifter. I'm just saying. And a squatty posted one of her posts, and this is what she said: Meghan Markle is so cringe, and based on the last picture, maybe a little hammered at the Beyonce concert, trying a little too hard to convince the world of the love. I think they look like immature teenagers, and that is not a compliment. Strip the titles, Charles. This is what this woman said. Strip the titles, Charles. I tell y'all what, y'all don't know how much I edit myself on this on this podcast. When I hear nonsense like that, I really have to edit myself. And this is what the squatty said that posted Gummies, as this squatty calls her. Like I said, I call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth. But I digress. This squatty says this: Gummy is not taking the Beyonce concert date night very well. Happiness is where they draw the line. That's it. Charles needs to take the titles away. Happiness breaks all royal protocol for married royals. I'm loving these meltdowns. These hoes are mad. She wasn't meant to overcome their bullying and media abuse campaign. Where is the lie? She was not meant to survive. Meghan was not meant to survive. No one prior to her have ever survived it. This much vitriol, this much hate, this much bile spewed at one person, and they come out happy. They come out well-rounded. They come out filled with love, compassion, caring, and carries on with their lives. This is unheard of, and they are mad about it. And I just love it for them. I do. Like I said, I'm petty that way. I love watching them in pain because this is something of their own creation. They are the ones who decided to hate on a woman who had done nothing to them, to vilify a woman who has done nothing but try to do good for others. So all I can say is if it caused you pain to see a woman like Meghan thrive, I just love that for you. I really, really do. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty decided to remind this woman that going to a concert and having a good time is not grounds to strip anyone of their titles, because if that was the case, William would have to be stripped as well, because this particular squatty took it back to the Taylor Swift concert where he was over there dancing around offbeat, looking like he was having a massive seizure and really embarrassing himself, but yet and still they feel that just because Harry and Meghan went to a concert, enjoyed themselves, loved up, and absolutely looked so hot that their titles should be taken away, and not William, who he took Charlotte and George and himself to a Taylor Swift concert. And I must say, his behavior was not that of an heir to the throne. I'm just saying. So let's get into what this squatty said that posted this. They said Charles should strip titles because a husband and wife shared pictures of themselves being in love. Is she hearing herself? Exactly. It is mental gymnastics. It's the mental gymnastics that these trolls, these toadies, these ugly old hags have to do to justify the hate that they have for this couple, because it's not grounded in reality. It's a husband and wife enjoying themselves at a concert like so many do. And but yet and still, somehow Harry and Meghan has to be singled out. They have to be different. These people are crazy. Then the squatter goes on to say, she said immature teenagers. Oh yeah. And then posted this video of William up there spazzing out, popping his finger to every third beat and looking like a stroke victim while pretending to dance. Yes, he looked more like a stroke victim than someone who was dancing to the music. But yet and still, Harry and Meghan are the ones titles need to be stripped. These people got to stop. I'm telling you, it has gotten to be ridiculous. All right, y'all, I am going to read some of the comments that was under this post from this squatty, just calling this woman out, saying that Harry and Meghan need their title stripped because they went to a concert and looked good doing it. I really think that's why they want their title stripped, because of the fact that they look so good doing everything they do. But I digress. I'm going to read some of the comments. And the first comment, a squatty said this: I'll never get over the fact that while Kate was fighting cancer, we know with the quotes, performative cancer, William was shaking it off at a Taylor Swift concert. And yet he claimed Kate was too sick for him to work more to help his also sick father. Yes, What about that? Where is the call for the title stripping? It was no cause for title stripping when it came to William and his behavior. Because, yes, he was out there shaking it off while his wife is supposedly has cancer. But yet and still, nothing said. But Harry and Meghan goes to a concert, behaves like everybody else that's there, and all of a sudden their titles should be stripped. These people, I'm telling you, their mental health has been destroyed by Harry and Meghan's success. And all I can say is I love that for them. And this next squatty said this: there is something really off with William. Always has been, but it seems that losing his brother to blissful marriage has properly unleashed the kraken in him. Not the kraken, not the kraken. Yes, it has released the kraken in him. And I agree with this squatty. Now, William had issues prior to this, but he has shown himself to really have some deep seated issues. Ever since Harry has found happiness, ever since Harry has found success, and ever since Harry has become a global advocate, William has absolutely lost his ever loving mind. And it shows. It shows on him. He looks horrible. He looks like he is not doing that well. Like this squatty said, the kraken is eating the kraken pipe. Yeah, I'm getting busy. The, yeah, the kraken pipe. The kraken pipe is just about got William. Now, y'all know I don't know anything about William. That's just speculation that I have no idea. My belief, my belief. Let me put that up there, allegedly, and any other thing I can put up there, but that is just me being messy. And it goes on to say, has he no friends who can get him therapy and coaching? He needs a purpose. Well, William has a purpose, and that is the problem. His purpose has always been to try to destroy everything that his brother builds, to keep his foot firmly on his brother's neck, and to destroy his brother completely in the end. That has always been his purpose. And he hasn't been very successful at it. And that right there is the reason why he is spiraling. William's purpose has always been to keep his foot firmly on Harry's neck. And he has not been able to do that. Meghan has absolutely came in and upset everything. That is the reason why he's so mad. That is the reason why he's so mad. But I digress. This other squatty, the last squatty said this: Willie camping it up big time. Not a care in the world, whilst wives supposedly rife with cancer. Odd. That whole thing was very odd. And nobody said anything. They definitely didn't say anything about stripping titles. But yet and still, here they are. Anything that Harry and Meghan does, they talk about stripping titles. All I can say is strip ahead. Go ahead on and strip. That's the way we feel about it. Because Harry and Meghan are going to continue to be successful no matter what. Because they have too many good people backing them up. And they are not going anywhere. The squad is not going anywhere. Their friends are not going anywhere. We're going to be here to support. And all I can say is do what you got to do and shut up about it. That's all we ask. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up, and this is from Norinda Kaur. I think that's the way you pronounce her name. Y'all know I will butcher a name, but I always try my best. And I have saw her on different shows like Jeremy Vine. I think I saw her on that Storm show that comes on, I think, after Jeremy Vine, or is somehow associated with Jeremy Vine, and a few other shows. And she's always on to defend Harry and Meghan. Sometimes she does a good job, sometimes not so much. But I digress. She posted this, and I really think she got this one right. And it says, real love doesn't need crowns or castles. Harry and Meghan chose independence over inherited power. Maybe it's time Britain did too. The monarchy belongs in the past. And then it says, last night at the Beyonce concert, showing a picture of Harry and Meghan. And I agree with this because the monarchy is pretty much dead. What good are they to your country? I mean, what do they bring to the table? And that's not much, but they take a lot from your table. They have their greedy hands in every aspect of British society. They take over $500 million. That is without their security added in. Some estimate it is about $1 billion that the British people are running a check for this one family every year. And the British public gets nothing for all this money because they have systematically broken down. They've broken down the respect that the world once had when Queen Elizabeth sat upon the throne. I mean, people don't respect the royal family of Great Britain anymore because they see what snakes they are. I mean, my channel was created because of their behavior. If they had only behaved in a better manner towards Harry and Meghan, their respect would still be intact. But instead, they chose to show themselves. And like I said, now that we have seen this, it cannot be unseen. And their reputation across the globe is pretty low. And so I agree with Norinda. The monarchy has no future. It is a relic of the past. And, and the sooner the citizens of the United Kingdom understand that, the better they're going to be. Their future is going to be brighter because that money that's going to that family could go to the poor, could go to programs that will help people get jobs, create industries, all kinds of things. But yet and still, it's going to a family so they can have helicopters and private jets, and they can have all these jewels and robes and all these homes, and all for you. You pay for all of that, including a golden carriage. And then all you get out of it is to wave a flag and to bow to these people. It is crazy to me. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And Harry's hat is getting a lot of attention. I saw where some squatties, some people who are not squatties or just regular people, they are talking about Harry's hat and trying to guess where he got it. And look, it had details in the hat. And this particular squatty posted a picture of what the details were in Harry's hat that he wore to Cowboy Carter concert. It says Prince Harry's hat he wore for Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour with Meghan, looking the sexiest I've ever seen her, is inscribed with Archie, Lily, my love. And you know, Harry calls Meghan my love. It says, how sweet is that? Sometime during the concert, Meghan is pictured wearing the hat. I love the Sussexes. And you can see, and it has the American flag, it has the British flag, and I think that's Australia. Y'all tell me in the comments. You see right there in the middle, that looks like Australia. Now I don't know what the other one is in the square. I don't know what that is, but it has some kind of meaning to Harry. If you know or you want to take a guess, put it in the comments. But yes, this is what the hat had on it. I saw People magazine did an article about it. But yes, Harry and Meghan always do everything with the details. It's all about the details for them. And I love it. And Harry looked so good in that hat. He did. He really did. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this one up, and y'all know the squatties have to be messy. They have to be messy, and that's why I love being a squatty, especially over there on X, formerly known as Twitter. They definitely have to be messy over there. And this particular squatty posted this about Harry's hat. They said that bald-headed demon about to wear a hat too. Watch this space. Now, I'm not saying who the bald head demon is, but y'all figure it out. Figure out what this squatty is trying to say. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty is talking about how the toadies, the rangers, the ugly old hags, all of the minions, and the flying monkeys could not find anything to talk about or to be disparaging of when it comes to Harry and Meghan going to this concert because they look so good. They look so happy. They absolutely just looked like they were having the time of their lives. So they had to find an angle, and their angle turned out to be security. And this particular squatty said this: they can't find fault with how good their Royal Highnesses Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan looked at the Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour. So they decided to instead take the Inglewood is so dangerous. See, they don't need security approach. Crazy choice considering the West don't play at all. And so this is the angle that they wanted to take. That Inglewood is so dangerous, and Harry and Meghan went over there anyway, and so they don't need security. This is so stupid. And it's the same stupidity, the same deranged argument they was talking about when they said that Harry was ringing on doorbells because he was trying to find his friend's house, that he doesn't need security. Yes, he does need security because nobody had announced that Harry was going to be in that area. Who would have had the opportunity to plot to harm him when nobody knew he was there? And as for Inglewood, they don't have the rags every day ginning up hate against Harry and Meghan. The people of Inglewood doesn't know anything about that. They have no motivation to harm Harry and Meghan. So it is definitely comparing apples to oranges when you talk about security in the United Kingdom and here in America, because you actively have people in the United Kingdom ginning up hate against a couple, hoping against hope someone get radicalized enough to harm them. So stop it. Stop trying to gaslight people into believing that Harry and Meghan are just overreacting when they say that they need security. It is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard of. but yet and still, they still try to make that dog hunt. All right, y'all, look down at the bottom. This particular squatty said this: do they really believe that there is no security at the concert in America? Exactly. What are you talking about? It's as if they think they're talking to people who have no way of reasoning or thinking things through and just being rational human beings. I mean, it is just ridiculous. And then it goes on to say, besides those crown critters, the rangers and raw rodent rats back in Salty Island can't afford a Cowboy Quarter concert ticket. Uh-oh. Messy boots. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And looky, when you're talking about security. This particular squatter said this: just saw on Rebecca's IG page that Beyonce gave Meghan extra security. OMG, that's so sweet. Yes, one of Beyonce's people said that Beyonce gave Meghan extra security. Even Beyonce is willing to give Harry and Meghan security. And Harry's father denies him. You know how that looks? Do you know how that looks? That's why I said that monarchy is trash. They have trashed themselves. They have. And it cannot be unseen. Because when you got a pop star out here giving Harry and Meghan security, can see the need for extra security for Harry and Meghan, and Harry's own father, who is the King of England, is talking to other countries saying not to give them any security. What does that say? How does that look? I'm just saying. But yes, Beyonce gave Meghan and Harry extra security. Boy, that makes Charles look like a DICK. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up and look like Meghan did it again. She sold out that beautiful jean denim dress she had on at the concert. And this particular squatty posted it and said this: the Meghan effect. Meghan Sussex and Prince Harry hit the town looking all hot and bothered. Meghan's curve hugging dress is unsurprisingly sold out. Boy, does she make a dress look good. Shine, Sussexes, shine. Yes, her over-the-shoulder ruche denim midi dress has sold out on Neiman Marcus's website. Yes, and she looks so good in it. I am not surprised. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up, and this is so good. I must say, I don't know, squatties are so amazing to me, and to think about this and doing it and posting it is just everything. Look at this. This is Harry and Meghan back in 2017, I think, when they're newly engaged. Aren't they beautiful? They are so beautiful. And look, here is Harry and Meghan in 2025. Now, Harry's little face is a lot rounder. Harry is well fed. He is. And he is a lot tanner. He looks really good. They both have barely aged. I'm telling you, they look so good. And the squatty that posted this said, years later, still together, still in love, still hot. Yes, they make such a beautiful couple. They do. And I love, love their love. All right, y'all. It is that time of the month. You know, usually, well, I say the time of the year. It happens maybe 4 times a year, maybe every 3 months or so. They drag out Thomas Markle and Thomas Markle Jr. and Scammy. Now this time I hadn't saw hide nor hair of Scammy. It's Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr. that is rearing their ugly heads and talking trash about Meghan, who they have not seen in close to a whole decade. And this time it's the Mirror. The Mirror has drug him out from underneath a prostitute from over there in the Philippines and done an interview with him. And he's talking about how he is struggling on $500 a month in the Philippines. We all know that's a lie because he has a pension. It has been documented that he has a pension because he worked in the television industry. And you cannot tell me he was living in Mexico on $500 a month. But this is the lie that they are telling, trying to just gin up some sympathy for this horrible, horrible individual. And this woman who read this and decided to post about it, this Sarah Louise Robinson, said this: how sad that Meghan Markle is farther estranged from her father. Brilliant scoop, Patrick Hill, who uncovered Thomas Markle's new digs in the Philippines, thousands of miles from California. I hope he is well cared for and can find peace. Well, that right there is stupidity on Front Street. Because if anybody knew anything about Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr., everybody over there on Fleet Street knew exactly where they were because they have done nothing but broadcast every move that they make all the time because they want to get a dollar. If you think that Thomas Markle Sr. was not paid for this interview, I have a bridge in San Francisco to sell you, and it's golden. This man got paid for this interview. He gets paid for everything when it's concerning to about Meghan. Meghan is supporting this man along with a whole lot of other people, but specifically she is supporting this man because all he do is sell her out for a price. And that's what he has done here in the Mirror. They always dragging him out. And he has not had any kind of contact with Meghan in close to a decade. What does he have to add but more vow to what he has already spewed on his daughter? It is ridiculous. But let me tell you this, the squatties didn't do nothing but light her up for this comment. You go in her comments, they lit her up because it's stupid. Whatever what she is saying is stupid. And this particular squatty came up under that and said this: Thomas Markle Sr. and Jr. were photographed with sex workers. What a wonderful father. Exactly. I just said that. He crawled from under a prostitute to give this interview. Literally. I'm not talking figuratively. I am saying literally. He did. This is the kind of man he is. And I'm sure if that prostitute wasn't underage, she wasn't far from it. Because these are the people. These are the kind of people these people are. Thomas Markle Jr. is the one who said his father was like that. He would go to these Asian countries and, find these underage girls. Thomas Markle Jr. said that. And so this is who this man is. And he has returned to his roots. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And looky, looky, looky. Here these two are, being who they are. But yet and still, they want to get on national television over there in Great Britain and try to play these two people up as being decent human beings. This is what they want to gaslight us into believing, that Thomas Markle isn't who we know him to be. That Thomas Markle Jr., who absolutely went to jail for domestic violence against his wife, is not who we think he is. That he can sit on national TV and say that Meghan is a bad person. This is a person who has never hurt anybody, but yet and still he's been to jail for hurting his wife. If I'm not mistaken, I think he put a gun to her head or something like that. But yet and still, Meghan is the bad person because she married Harry. These people need to stop it. They need to stop it. Look at this. This is what's going on in the Philippines. But yet and still, they want to paint him as some poor pauper, that Meghan is just neglecting her father, not the man who absolutely conspired against her and conspired with Kensington Palace, my belief, to try to stop her wedding. So they need to stop with Thomas Markle and Thomas Markle Jr., and they definitely don't want us to get on Scammy. This is ridiculous. This particular squatty who posted this said this: FO, meaning F off. The two creeps are slithering their way through Thailand, taking disadvantage of vulnerable, I think they're saying taking advantage of vulnerable youngins. Meghan is well off keeping her children away from those yuck balls. Exactly. Exactly. But yet and still, they'll have them on national television to talk trash about a woman who has done nothing to hurt anybody. But you know what I'm saying? They need to stop it. And they need to be called out. And I love how the squatties are calling them out, posting pictures like this. Yeah, it's going to crawl from under a underage prostitute to come on national television to talk trash about your sister or your daughter who has done nothing but try to help people. You need to be ashamed. Meghan should never speak to these people ever, ever again. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up and leave it to the squatties. You're not going to come on here and pretend like you're one thing when we can prove that you are not that. And like I said, the squatties will go through everything. They'll go through your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, and they'll find it. And they have found what Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr. is doing over there in the Philippines. And it's nothing nice. And this particular squatty said this, I'm going to put it up. Look like Thomas Markle Sr. is having a great relationship with a younger females. Yes, he's over there doing what he has done in the past, according to his own son. Now, this is not something I made up. This is what Thomas Markle Jr. said about his own father. And looky, looked like it was true. And I'm going to put this up. Look like it was true. He was telling the truth. And now he has joined into the party. Because Thomas Markle Jr. is almost 60 years old. And look at this. I'm going to put it up. It says, OMG, that trashy family has no shame. Thomas Markle Jr. hand in hand with a woman. How much? Oops. I mean, how old is she? He's almost 60 years old. And this woman looks like a girl. She looks like a young girl. Look at her in the face. She looks like a young girl. And he's almost 60 years old. Disgusting. But yet and still, he can sit on GB News do an interview with the Mirror and try to make Meghan out to be a bad person. These people need to stop with the nonsense. It is so ridiculous at this point that nobody can take them seriously. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, this is the last comment I am going to do about this scurrilous pair of Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr. They're disgusting. But I do want to put this up because this particular squatty peeps something that is so funny but true. Let's look at it. It says, look at the sign he's parked beside. Ha 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 ha. And the sign said, reminder, do not leave garbage here. You cannot make this stuff up because who is a bigger garbage person than Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr.? They are trash. They are. So I'm sure if he stayed there too long, someone would have put him on the curb. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up because the Daily Mail finally discovered, or pretend like they discovered, that the Sussex Squad raises money for good causes. That we are a squad that really cares about people. That is the reason why we support Harry and Meghan, because we started to care about them, how they were being treated. The Sussex Squad has heart. They hate bullies. That is the reason it came together, because everybody in the Sussex Squad has a heart and they raise money to help people. And it looks like the Daily Fail is just finding this out or pretending to find it out. All I can say is this: where is the money that the Derangers raised? I know they raised $50,000 for Thomas Markle Jr. and Thomas Markle Sr. And most of that probably went to prostitutes. I'm just saying, what good did that do? But the Sussex Squad has raised money for Cinebale, for playgrounds for children, planting trees, so many great causes, for Prince Archie, Prince Lilibeth, for their birthdays. They have, but yet and still, they always try to flip the script and pretend like the Sussex Squad is made up of bad people. But in actuality, it's made up of fighters. And they don't want to be involved with fighters because then they cannot abuse Harry and Meghan in peace. I'm just saying. So I'm going to put this up. And the Daily Fail wrote, Harry and Meghan fans raised thousands in honor of Archie and Lilibeth to uplift youth in need in LA. Yes, and we have done so many other things. And this particular squad that posted this said, they hate the fact that the squad raised money for good causes. And the only time the Derangers raised big money was for Lady C's dodgy GoFundMe. Where is the lie? Where is it? But yet and still, year after year, every year, the Sussex Squad raises money for a good cause. We do. But yet and still, we're supposed to be the bad guys because we will not allow you to abuse our faves in peace. It's never going to happen. And this particular squatty posted about the same thing and said this: who's going to tell the Daily Fail that this isn't a new thing to us? Remember Prince Archie's first birthday? We have been doing this even before then. Meghan and Prince Harry supporters don't send thoughts and prayers only. We dig deep. We are not royalists. Where is the lie? We have been doing this. I remember when Tina and Michelle used to have these marathons, and they would go all day raising money for a cause. Y'all remember that? The Sussex Squad was born out of helping Harry and Meghan. All of everything that Harry and Meghan used to support, the Sussex Squad would raise money to try to help them in supporting that charity. I mean, whatever it was. Even before they left that family, the Sussex Squad was doing that. So all of a sudden they discover that the Sussex Squad has been doing good things all along. We are not the evil ones. We are the ones that will not allow evil to go unchecked. Just remember that. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I just want to put this up. And I saw where this squatty had posted this with Doria and Princess Diana. And it says, a mother's love makes the difference. And this particular squatty added, it's true. And it is. Harry would not be the man he is without his mother. And, pouring into him in those early years. Because if she hadn't done that, he probably would have really been destroyed by that institution. But she poured into him enough that he survived. And Doria has poured into Meghan. Can you imagine Thomas Markle? His ethics, his who he is as a person deep down. Doria is the one that poured into Meghan. Meghan is the Meghan that we love because of Doria. And these two women are to be revered. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I got something I want to play for y'all because it is Mother's Day, and I found this on these internet streets, and it's Princess Diana, and she is fussing with Prince Harry, telling him to sit down. He's a little boy. She's trying to do an interview, and he is acting up, and she absolutely is making him behave. And I thought this would be so appropriate for Mother's Day. This is Princess Diana getting on to a mischievous Prince Harry.
If you come in here, you sit down and be quiet. Very quiet. Very quiet. There years ago I come across a Harry shush. Oh, he's so ridiculous. I can't even string my words together.
Well, that's really hard. You've got two of the most impossible people sitting here with us.
Harry, shush, shush. Harry, sit down.
Practice.
Just sit. Just sit.
See, there is Harry and his mom, and she is trying to get him to sit down and be quiet so she can do this interview. And Harry is just being the typical little boy. I love this interaction between mom and son. I think Prince William was there also because he said it's two of the most impossible people. So I'm thinking it was not just Harry, but Prince William there, but Harry was the one cutting up. Yeah, so yes, I just wanted to play that on Mother's Day because I found Princess Diana to be just like any typical mother trying to deal with a rambunctious youngster, trying to wrangle him in so she can get what she needs done. And Harry is having none of it. He is giggling. I just love it. I just thought it was so sweet and I wanted to share. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this I found so interesting because I think this particular squatty hit the nail on the head of why so many derangers, toadies, ugly old hags, skanks, trolls, and haters Minions, flying monkeys, all of them hate on Meghan because of the fact that they are not her. They hate her for the essence of who she is because they can't find them qualities in themselves. And so this particular squatty said this, and she posted like a little video. And basically, the video just goes through a lot of things that is Meghan, is the things of what she is. She's kind, she's caring, she's loving, she loves her family, she loves her children. Meghan hadn't hurt anything or anybody to deserve this hate that she gets. I mean, anybody with any kind of rational, the ability to have rational thought knows that. But yet and still, here she is. And it clearly is not about what she has done, it's about who she is. And this particular swati said this: they hate her beauty, her intelligence, her confidence, her style, and the list goes on. They hate her for being herself. And that right there is it. If you ever want to know why they hate Meghan, is because they hate her for herself. Because Meghan is all these things that they cannot find within themselves. If it's beauty, if it's confidence, if it's her loving spirit, it is something that is lacking in them that they see in her and they hate her for it. The demons, they are troubled by everything that is Meghan. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Bye.